Hello everyone, Diehard 3.75 here, back with another random 118375 opening video.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right, so like I mentioned in the opening, this is another of my random 118 375 inch opening videos. This is the fourth one now, so this has kind of become a series. This is a lot of fun for me to do. Um, in fact, this time I think I didn't pick any 375 figures. These are all full 118 4-inch figures. I did pick two brands and two lines that we've never done before in this series. Um, One being the Acid Rain Toys Alliance Jessie figure, the other being the Boss Fight Studio Vertruvian Hacks Elven Swordsman figure. We have the Elite Ultra here by Jazzwares from the World of Halo line, and we have the Dark Sources Zheng Hu Blade Master of Tai Ching Sect. I know that I've done a Joy Toy before, and I believe I've done a Halo figure too in one of these videos. Maybe not, I might be wrong about that. But oddly, all of these I picked up on sale at different times. This I got from AliExpress Joy Toy store on sale. I found this figure at Ross on sale. The Elven Swordsman I picked up on the Christmas sort of Cyber Monday, Black Friday. They were kind of doing a sale around that time, so I pre-ordered the Phantom, the 11th Phantom figure, which I've done a video of. It should be up by now. So he was pre-ordered, but I guess he's fairly an older figure, but he was boxed with my pre-order. And then Jessie I got on Pia Club during their sale. So all these figures just happened to have picked up on sale. So I saved a little bit of money. None of these figures, like I mentioned, would necessarily get their own video, but together they do, I think, make a good video. And this video is really about just contrast, comparing lines, brands, just to start a discussion. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to start with Jessie today. So let's get to it. Okay, so here is Jessie from Toys Alliance Acid Rain, the last line of defense. Civet Company G2 Agent. There's some wonderful box art there. Looks like she's in a pair of shorts. She's got some purple hair going on. Looks like she comes with the helmet. Got our standard sort of Acid Rain collector-friendly packaging. There's the crate inside. It looks like a burgundy red. So not too much to it. Pretty standard for Acid Rain. I always do like that they put them in these crates. Love the box art. Can't really tell what's behind her. Looks like some kind of... Oh, maybe it's one of those camel bots or something like that. It's hard to make out. But that's the packaging. Let's get her open. All right, so we've got Jessie out of packaging here, and she comes with a lot of accessories. Let's talk about those first. She's got this machine gun, which looks very similar to the one that came with Citrus Laurel. So I think that's the same machine gun. It's in a solid black. It does have a drilled barrel. Nice. She also comes with this sort of Bowie knife. Again, all black, solid black. Nice sculpting on the handle. She comes with two pistols. They are the same. Very cool. Again, little drill in the barrel there. That's pretty cool. Really small, but it's there. She comes with a couple of grenades. All these are solid black plastic. These are very small, these grenades. There are two of them. Let's see if I can hold one up here so you can see that. Very small. And then she comes with a helmet head. You could just see her brow, her forehead and hair in the middle there. It is a separate head. Instead of fitting over the unmasked head, you do have to pop off the head to put this on. It's pretty cool. It's got like rabbit ears or bunny ears or something on it. It's a very cool helmet. So what do we have here? We have 2, 4, 6, got 7 accessories that this figure came with. Now I did get this for $25, which is really, really inexpensive for an acid rain figure. In fact, I've never seen one at $25 before, and that's really the reason I picked it up. I couldn't pass on it when I was purchasing other items. I saw that this one was 25, so I threw it in my basket when I checked out, and I'm glad I did. 25 bucks, I think it's a pretty good figure. I've been kind of playing around with her. It's weird though, is the quality of this one doesn't feel quite as good as the other sort of acid rain figures I'm used to. And I don't know if it's because of her outfit. It just seems, you know, when I twist her and turn her, there's so many gaps and openings. You know, without this belt, if I pull the belt up a little bit, and it does ride up a bit, there's a lot of space between the thigh joints that are really noticeable. So it just doesn't quite feel the quality of what I'm used to with Toys Alliance Acid Rain. I will say though, like always, the paint job on this thing is wonderful. She's got like a really dirty wash on her. She looks like she's been out in the dirt, in the mud. You can see on her kneecaps. You know, even on the clothes that she has, looks like she's got kind of a bikini top bra on. Her face is painted really, really well. Straight eyes. Very pretty face. Really nice. Really nice, you know, paint. And of course, it's got really good articulation like all of Acid Rain. She does have the ball joint at the neck and at the collarbone, so she can get a really good down and a fairly good up. Double jointed elbows, hinged wrists, ball hinged shoulders. But again, that just like I was saying with at the hip and even at the waist, when you lift the arm up, the cut in the, I guess it'd be the sleeves of the vest, the jacket, it is exposed, so it does look a little off. She does have 2 trigger hands, which is nice because she comes with all these guns. Ball hinged hips that I mentioned, but again, it's kind of weird, like without the belt, it just, there's such these thigh gaps here, so you really got to keep the belt down to kind of hide it. And a ball jointed diaphragm waist here, or I should say diaphragm, ball joint, and then and also has a swivel waist there. It popped off. Pop that back on. You can see her belly button there exposed. Very shapely. Just doesn't quite feel the quality, you know, as I articulate her and pose her, as some of the other, well, of all of the other Acid Rain figures. Double jointed knee, and she has a ankle swivel and a rocker. But you can see again the shoe and the ankle looks a little odd there. I guess she's wearing, you know, ankle-less shoes, but it does look a little odd. So there's a few oddities with this figure, and I'm guessing that's probably why it was 25 bucks, you know. This is an older figure. It's not new by any means. There's a lot of other videos on YouTube with her. So she's not, you know, the newest thing. And I bet some of those reviews, some of the things that I just pointed out, probably kept people from buying her when she was at the $40 or $50 range. But I still think at 25, she's pretty good. I'm sure with this paint job, she will photograph well. Let's pop the head off. Put that helmet on. So that is a really cool helmet. See if I can get that on. How easy this is to get on. I did not warm this figure up. Just going straight to it. And it went on, and that's pretty cool. Looks pretty good. That's such a good face sculpt though, and face paint. As much as I like this helmet, I mean, maybe I can use this for something else, but she is really pretty. You know, they did a really good job with the face. So let's see, I think she can carry all of her accessories. That's another plus of this figure. Even the grenades, there's slots on her belt to hold the grenades. And she's definitely got two holsters for her small pistols. Let's throw those in. See, does she have anything for the knife? I believe she does right here. And then you give her her rifle. And that's another plus, you know, she can actually carry all of her accessories. She's got 2 grenades, 2 pistols, a knife. She's got the machine gun on, and I put the helmeted head on her, and she's ready for combat now. So she's fun. She's fun, but there's still a few little things on here that I'm not used to with Acid Rain, that I'm not used to, the like that, how I was just kind of moving her, the sort of the looseness of her, and I feel like it's just because of the outfit, or, you know, the joints or something. And the small, you know, little things here, like this ankle, the gaps at the hip and the waist when you turn her. You know, a little bit of some oddities there, but still a good figure. I still think worth 25 bucks if you're able to get her. Paint job, sculpt, pretty darn good. Articulation's really good. She's a unique character. There's not too many females in shorts and bikini tops out there that I know of. Very good figure though, I think, for what I got for 25 bucks. And I think this unmasked head is quite nice. Quite nice. All right, so that is the Toys Alliance Acid Rain World Jessie. Okay, we've got Jessie off to the side here, and now we're going to take a look at the World of Halo Elite Ultra by Jazzwares, sort of that Series 1 packaging. I did find this at Ross for $3.99. It's the first time I've ever seen this in the store. This figure's fairly old now. It's a couple years old. I'd only ever seen it on the back of a package. This one looks pretty good. The body is very familiar. Paint job looks new. Head looks new. Weapon looks new. Maybe some of the shoulder and forearm armor are new. But this packaging's okay. I don't really care for it. I thought the second series, the blue packaging, was much better. I was glad when they switched over. I thought it was much, popped a lot more on the shelf, on the peg. Hopefully that'll come back. Let's get this guy open. Okay, so here is the Elite Ultra with Cinder Shot rifle from the World of Halo Jazzwares line. And like all of these first series figures, I believe they went away with this by the time of the second series, the blue packaging. But he does come with a stand, which is always helpful. It's always nice. I have a lot of these now to achieve some dynamic poses for this figure, and for some of the others, not so much the Marines, but the heavier figures. You do kind of need this to do that, pose them. Now you can see the size here. You can see the size compared to Jessie here. He is a 118 figure, but he's big. He's a big boy. Didn't have any trouble standing him. He does have a peg on his back to hold the Cinder Shot. All of these figures, the World of Halo figures, have that hole, that capability in the back, the hole in the back, the capability to carry their weapon. Not all of the weapons, though, have the peg, but this one does. And this is my first time, I think, with this Cinder Shot. This is the only one that I have. You can see, though, very cool, very good sculpting in the armor. I believe these shoulder pads and this head is new. And maybe even the chest here, or it's painted different to highlight different parts of the armor. As always, you know, even I got this figure at a discount. You know, obviously it was at Ross for $3.99. But even at full price, I think these figures weren't more than $10. Maybe they were $10.99 at the most. Very good deal for what you get. There's a lot of articulation here. You can see it's pretty good paint apps. You do get in this one 2 accessories, the gun and the stand. He's big, you know, it's a lot of plastic for the price, and very highly articulated. One of the features of this guy's articulation is the ball hinged neck. So you can see he can go pretty much all the way down, and he can go all the way up, and not too many 118 figures can achieve this. But I think because he's a bit bigger, that ball joint could be bigger, and it's a little bit easier to achieve that. When, you know, other smaller figures, it's not as easy. It does have a diaphragm ball joint here that allows a bit of a twist. Ball hinge shoulders, elbows, hinged wrists. They both hinge in and out. Ball hinged hips, knees, single hinge knee, and then I don't know what you call that. That's not necessarily the ankle, but like the foreleg, the shin articulation, because he does have an ankle down here that it does ball joint. It does go up and down, and it does rock, but it's limited because of the sculpt here. So this is the ankle. I guess you call this like the shin, but it's a ball joint there. Very cool. Doesn't look like, though, because it's how his hands hinge and hold the cinder shot. Looks like he does need to get this other hand under it to kind of hold it up. And I think the articulation does allow for that. Just kind of get it in there if I can. But this is a good figure. This guy's definitely going to be like the leader of my Covenant army. I don't know anything, you know, really too much about the Halo lore. But this guy just, to me, looks, you know, it does say Elite Ultra, so I'm guessing he is kind of their special forces, or he's one of their better troopers, one of their better soldiers. Definitely looks cool. You can see these guys have some blue in the eye there. And this sort of, I'll say, like digital tattooing on the armor. Little highlights of blue here in the back. Very nice. Very good figure. Definitely worth, you know, what I paid for him. He doesn't hold the gun that well, though. It's a cool looking gun. He does seem to have a little bit of trouble. I feel like it's how the handle of the gun is. But it's a cool looking rifle. See if he can twist a little bit. Oh, I popped his leg off. They are ball hinged. It's pretty common to pop off like that. And then he holds it. Yeah, so he has a little bit of trouble. He can't hold the gun up and look down the barrel. And even one-handed, if you see that, sort of how that handle is when he puts it in his hand. You can get his full hand almost in there. His pinky, yeah, it fit in there. Doesn't quite hold it straight. Let's see, there it is. It wants to kind of fall down a little bit, so that's a little disappointing. Oh, it's much better in that hand. There you go. But it would benefit more from an up and down hinge rather than an in and out hinge. But not bad, not bad. Articulation wise, cost wise, accessories. You know, the paint, it's good. It's nothing like her. But it's still pretty good. And you can see, you can get them in some pretty good poses. So solid figure, solid figure. I'd love to pick up another one of these if I ever find one, especially at that price that I got him for. Solid figure for what he is. These guys make, all the Covenant guys, they make great bad guys to fight your stormtroopers, to fight your, you know, your acid rain guys, your Joy Toy, you know, Battle for the Stars. These guys are great bad guys. They're very unique looking aliens. They're highly posable. They're large. Good figure all around. definitely a good deal if you can find them. All right, so now let's open up that Boss Fight Studio Elven Swordsman. Okay, so here's the Vitruvian Hacks Boss Fight Studio Elven Swordsman, the Withered Branch. Now, this one is part of their Army Builder series, which it says here, so he does not come in collector-friendly packaging. Most Boss Fight Studio figures, except blanks, and these Army Builders come in collector-friendly packaging. So this one we've got to rip open. Not a big deal. All these Vitruvian Hacks are meant to be taken apart and customized and do what you want, especially these Army Builders. So it's kind of standard packaging for these Army Builders. Here are the other 3 Army Builders in this wave or this series. I actually have all 3 of those. I actually have all 3. I've got the girl wanderer, I can't remember her name, and then you've got this sort of skelly monster bad guy. This is the brief bio of each one. The dragon acolyte, there he is, and she is the wanderers, and he is the elven swordsman. So this is the Boss Fight Studio. These are a little bit less. I think these are like 15 to 20 bucks, where their standard figures are more like 25 to 30. But overall, same quality, same figures, you know. It's almost like these are kit bashes of their own figures, but in different colors. So let's get him open. All right, here's the Elven Swordsman from Boss Fight Studio, out of packaging. And sometimes I do heat up my Boss Fight Studio figures. I didn't feel the need to do that this time. His shoulders are a little stiff, but everything else seems to be pretty good. I don't feel the need to do that, but sometimes you do. Sometimes you do, just in case. The first thing that really stands out to me with this guy is how nice that head sculpt is. Love the gloss on that mask. Touch of blue there in the middle. Very cool. Very, very cool. I had picked this figure up originally to swap out the lower legs on the Phantom, the 11th Phantom. These pieces here on his boot, they do come off. And I was going to remove these and take off these lower legs here, the black pants and boots, and put them on that Phantom. This figure does have the screw, if I can show that to you, in the back of his butt there, so you can easily take him apart. That new Phantom didn't have it, but I'm okay. This is a really good figure how this is, and that was a really good figure how it was, so I didn't really need to change it. It was a aesthetic thing that I wanted to do, but this is still a really good figure. I do have the named elf who's in brown, and he has a different head, unmasked head, different color of the mask. I think it's mostly brown with some green. It's the same sword from that one, but again done in a different color. I think that one is also green and brown. I can't quite remember, but you could see some of the sculpt work there around the hilt. Very cool sword. Very cool sword. Also came with the sort of traditional Boss Fight Studio stand. I think all Boss Fight Studio figures come with a stand, even the blanks. The Hero Hacks have their own stand that's different from these, and these come in every color under the rainbow that you can think of. He did also come with a second set of hands. All the hands are gripping hands. These ones hinge in and out. He came with the hinged up and down hands on, but they are the same gripping hands, just hinged a different way. All this guy, because he's a hack, you know, most of his parts, if not all of them, come off. The top of that boot comes off, like I showed you. The forearm armor comes off. This skirt will come off. Obviously, you can take off the head, put it on any other, Boss Fight Studio figure. Very good figure. Very good figure. And for a Boss Fight Studio, at the price that you get and what you get, I think these are really, really good deal. If you've never had Boss Fight Studios before, I would start with one of these. At least you'll get the articulation, you'll see the modularity of them, and before you buy one of the more expensive figures. But this guy, he's got all the modern articulation that you would need. Ball hinged neck. Whoops, that keeps popping off now. Maybe I didn't put it in all the way. Ball hinged shoulders, elbows, single hinged elbow, that hinged wrist, diaphragm joint, also twist at the waist, ball hinged hips, but they're a little limited because of this guy's outfit, double hinged knee, and a rocker. Well, no, this one's not a rocker ankle. This is just a hinged ankle. So you get the swivel side to side and you get the hinge up and down. So not a rocker ankle on this guy. Otherwise, totally modern articulation. He's a good 4 inches. Great sculpt, great accessories. This is an army builder, so this one's meant for you to get lots of them. He does have these holes here on his shoulders because this armor or this outfit, you could peg shoulder armor into here if you have a figure that comes with that shoulder armor. Let me twist him back. He got a little bit twisted there. But great sculpting in the belt. You can see all the silver highlights, the sculpting in the belt, all the way around. Just the sculpting in the clothes, the folds, the creases of the pants. This is going to fall down now because I pushed it down so many times. If I could push it back up, I might remove that. I've just never been a fan of that type of boot. But I think the highlight is the helmet. Such a gloss black. It's just really nice. Really nice figure. Really nice. And he's right in scale. Let's get the sword in his hand. See if I can do that. His hands do feel a little hard. The plastic that the Boss Fight Studio guys use it's a lot sturdier, stiffer than these guys, which is a good thing, but it does make it a little bit harder to get their hands open. But once they have it in hand, they do not let go. So there's the sword in hand. He can hold the sword in either hand. Just kind of depends what hinge you want. This is the in and out. Excuse me, this is the up and down, which is probably, for a sword, the better one. But he's a very good figure. Very good. Does have the stand, but I don't use these stands too often. The figures don't necessarily need them. But that is the Elven Swordsman from Boss Fight Studios for Vitruvian Hacks Army Builder. All right, we're down to the last figure. We've got the Dark Sources Jang Hu figure. Let's get that one open now. All right, so much like the Acid Rain Jesse figure over here, the Blade Master here by Joy Toy does come in collector-friendly packaging. So these have all been sort of a standard black box, just like this, with the same scene in the back. It's like some kind of a medieval Chinese castle figure here on the front. And on the back, we get to see all of the accessories that he comes with. He does look like he comes with quite a bit. And they have him here in some fighting poses. He is the Blade Master of Tai Ching Sek. I guess that's his name there. I won't even... Well, let me try it. Is it Ao Gong Sun? Maybe? Not quite sure. But pretty good packaging. I did get this guy for 20 bucks off of the AliExpress store, Joy Toy store on AliExpress, I should say. I passed on this guy. I passed on this guy when he was brand new. I'm glad I did because I got him at a discount. When I looked at him and his accessories, I just thought, he's, you have to cut somewhere. I can't get all of them all the time. So this was one of the ones that I cut out, or I did not get. I think at 20 bucks, he's about half price because these figures are usually about $40, mostly. So half off, I thought he was worth it. I did have to wait about 3 weeks for him to come. Overall, he looks pretty good. It looks like a really good buck. I don't know about these accessories, though. I'm kind of I'm up in the air about them, not quite sure. But that's the packaging. Let's get them open. And here is the Blade Master. And I feel like I'm gonna I'm gonna say two complete opposite things. Is I'm impressed with the figure. This figure looks really, really good. Great paint, great Joy Toy articulation. Look at that face. That's awesome. But I'm not impressed with these accessories, and really this is the reason why I didn't get them originally. I wasn't impressed with these accessories, and I wasn't impressed with how he looked with this on. I don't think I'll use this. I think he looks really cool without it. Looks a lot more athletic. He looks a lot more like a kung fu master, like he can fight. I don't know what about this. I don't know. It just seems to, it makes him look older for some reason to me. These accessories, I'm not really impressed with either. I think you can see this one. These are really soft. This one was a little bent. I know that can be fixed with some warm water or a blow dryer or something. This one's a lot more straight. But these are really, really soft. I don't think I will use these. I don't, I'm just not impressed with these. I don't think I would ever use these, or I don't know what I would use these for. This one is sort of like a sweeping motion. If he was cutting down, or to make it look like movement. I know Marvel Legends, they have a lot of accessories like these. Or Star Wars has been coming with lightsabers that have this Black Series that sort of have this movement, make it look like there's movement there. Not something that I'm into. I'm just not impressed with those. I think what I'm going to do with this guy is keep him like this. Did come with some extra set of hands. I think I'll put his two fists on, or maybe leave one open hand, and then I'll have him like a sort of a kung fu master. These are both that's like a trigger finger hand and a gripping hand, which neither one really look good with this. But I don't really care for these accessories. Just not impressed with them. But I am impressed with this figure. All the sculpting on him is paint. I really like this belt. It's almost like a weight belt or something underneath. It's got this leather that sort of goes around his waist. He's much thinner in the body than I thought. These legs look really familiar. I think these are the legs from the Monk figure, which I thought was one of the best figures. Of course, painted different. But you can see all of the paintwork. How it's dark here at the bottom, almost dirty. Same thing with here. You can see it a little bit better here. But I just don't care for this. This is a soft plastic. I don't care for that. I think he looks a lot better like this. If I could just keep this down, I think he looks pretty cool. Very wise master. Looks like a kung fu sort of master. It looks like he could throw the hands. All of these Jang Hu figures are really posable. Great articulation. They can all pose really well. Let's see if I can get him without falling. But you can see, you can get him in really great poses. I mean, these guys, I think I have a short on my channel of one of them fighting. Can't remember who. But very, very cool. I mean, when you can get a 118 figure to do that, I mean, you got a good figure. And so he's good. All of the Jang Hu figures, that in my favorite lines of 2023, Jang Hu was number 3, because they are this good. I mean, you get a lot out of them. They photograph well, they pose well, everything about them. The accessories, I mean, I don't care for these accessories, but that's a lot of accessories. You get 3 extra pairs of hands. You get 4 of these blade fire things. You get a removable cloak. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. And this guy was only 20 bucks. I did get him on sale. There's another one too. I might have them all now. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to look. I think there's still one out there that I haven't picked up. But this guy is awesome. I just don't care for these accessories. You know, I don't want to say they're, to me, you know, they're not, you know, I'm never going to use them. I'm never going to use them. Let's just say that. The hands, I will, but the rest of it, I won't. But definitely looks better without that cloak on, I think. Looks like a much younger guy. So that is all four of the figures. If I was going to rate them, this is some quality here, guys. This is some good stuff. Got Acid Rain, Boss Fight Studio, Joy Toy, and the World of Halo. And this was the cheapest figure. Let's say this was the least expensive. It's almost unfair that I'm comparing, or I put him in this mix. But I know that these are such highly articulated figures for a fairly inexpensive price, that he actually is worthy of this comparison and this contrast. Definitely looks like these two would be fighting each other because they're like in some kind of sci-fi military world, and these two look like they'd be fighting each other as there's some kind of a fantasy sort of world. You know, I think this guy's the best. I think it's probably like one, let's go from right to left, my right to my left. I think it's probably one. I'm a little disappointed in her. She's not quite of the quality of Acid Rain. I'd probably do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy's really good. I might, you know, I haven't been much into a fantasy sort of realm lately, except for these Jang Hu guys. I have armies of Boss Fight Studio stuff. But I just haven't been much into fantasy lately. And I really, like I mentioned, I only got this guy to swap out with that Phantom. But I think he's actually, for what you get, the articulation, the quality of him, the accessories and everything, he is probably number 2. And it's probably surprising some of you, if you have these lines, that I'd put her after this $10 figure. But there's just some quality control issues with her. She just doesn't feel of the quality of most Acid Rain figures that I have. But let's say paint-wise, she's probably as good or better than him. But this is just my opinion. You know, I feel like she's kind of falling apart as I move her. You know, and I think because of the gappage and stuff, I'm gonna have a little bit of trouble. You can even see how you can kind of see through her there, through the light behind her. I'm gonna have a little bit of trouble photographing her because of that. You know, now she's even got a little bit of loose. It just doesn't feel of the quality of the normal Acid Rain figures. I don't think, if you didn't know anything about action figures and I gave these to you, I don't think that you would know necessarily that this was probably originally the most expensive figure here. I think with him you would. I think with him you'd go, okay, this must be expensive figure. But I don't think you would with her because of the sort of the QC issues that I'm kind of feeling here. But she is a great figure. All these figures are awesome. It's just I'm comparing these 4. She is an awesome figure. I do think she was worth the $25, even with these little QC issues that I feel like I'm having. But I definitely feel like he is the best. He is the best. And, you know, look at that sculpting in the forearm there. All the paint shading and the different colors here, the blue, the gold, the white, the brown, the red. I mean, there's a lot of paint going on this guy. The gradation of the colors, the face sculpt. I think this guy is definitely the best out of these 4. This Boss Fight Studio guy is really good too. Like he's much harder plastic than all of these other 3, though, I can tell, which is okay. It's a good thing. He's stiff, you know, he's not going to get loose. This guy would look pretty cool if I took, you know, if I get rid of the sword, take this boot off, and hand him a plasma rifle, He could be a sci-fi figure. It looks like something that might come out of Doctor Who or something like that. Cool figure though, versatile figure. This guy I think is at, you know, what I paid, and even if he was full price at $10 is a great deal, especially if you can find 3 or 4 of these guys. Army build him. He's got really good articulation, great price point, very unique looking. I just think it's kind of, he doesn't, it's this weapon, because these are the same hands that all of these this body type has. What's different about this guy is his head, that he comes with this gun and these shoulder pads. But almost everything else is, you know, what we get from those other, I forgot their names now. I'm not a Halo guy, so I can't remember what they're called now. But I have a purple one, a gold one, very similar. But these guys are pretty awesome. I think he just can't hold that gun quite well. So I might have to switch that out with one of the other Covenant type weapons that I have. The Needler. He probably hold the Needler just fine. Just thought of the name of that other weapon. Overall though, guys, good figures, all of them, all around. They're all pickups. I would just be aware that, to me, Jessie just doesn't feel quite the quality for some reason. It's the only Acid Rain figure I've ever felt that way about. But I've also never got an Acid Rain figure for $25, so that might be the reason. So that's the video, guys. I went on kind of long. Had a lot of fun, though. These are all great figures. Let me know what you think. Do you have any of these? Let me know, what is your order? You know, which ones do you think is the best from what I showed you? Or do you have one of these? Maybe I missed something. You know, when I do this, I do go kind of fast. I don't focus as much on one as much as all of them. And then I do that quick comparison here at the end of saying, I like this, I don't like that. It's a very rushed judgment. But sometimes your first, your first inclination, your first thought is the correct one, your instinct. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.